The incomparable, iconic, musical legend, Billy Joel, once sang, and I apologize, Billy, and I apologize to you for listening to this, because God knows this will never get back to Billy Joel. Honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is hardly ever heard. Mostly what I need from you. I had this idea, like all of my other bad, weird ideas, that if I did a separate, like, yoga diary in which I can rant and verbally vomit so that nobody has to see it. If I extract that from the actual yoga classes that I film and post on YouTube, and let me give you a little shot right there. So this is my humble little YouTube channel that could, called Stronger Yoga, and I did this video right there called my 10-minute Instagram meltdown. So first of all, if I'm being honest, that was clickbait, because it really wasn't a meltdown. It wasn't. But I figured if I use the word meltdown, more people will watch it. Shameless. It was a rant. Really. But that was that's where I got the idea. What I'll do is I'll do a video diary, and I'll just do this so that I don't do it, or I'm less inclined to do it when I do a yoga class. And then I did my second one, and in the second one, I thought, you're not being as honest as you could. And so it occurred to me this morning, you should do a diary and be ruthlessly, recklessly, radically honest. And here is the funny irony, is that this is the sixth take, because I was too afraid to put up the other 5 on YouTube, which is weird and rare for me. And see, product placement. When I started to try to record this video, this was a full bottle. For at least half my life that I'm certain of, I've been dealing with major depressive disorder. ADHD too, but if you're one of those people that those aren't really a thing anyway, I was that person too. For years, I've dealt with major depression, and it's taken me to some really, really dark, desperate places. And there's 2 big reasons why I didn't want to talk about this. And they have nothing to do with why this is the 6th take. It's mostly because I'm trying to do this in a reasonable amount of time. And all of those videos, I've been ranting for hours. And as I just hit a point in like 20 or 30 minutes where I'm like, no one is even going to be able to fucking understand this if they do watch it. So I didn't want to talk about major depressive disorder. One, because if you look out your window or if you turn on the news, the world is upside down and there's big things going on, big problems, and big opportunities too. I don't know how to describe it other than with excitement that all of these massive protests are taking place, not only all over the country, but all over the world. Because I believe in equality, if nothing else, if I understand nothing else, everyone has the right to love who they love and not walk the streets in fear. So there's that. Then there's also a fucking global pandemic that we've, in our own minds, probably have gone back and forth between this is a hoax. Oh, fuck, this is serious. Well, maybe. Is it really that serious? But thank God for healthcare workers. Thank God for essential. I think everybody I see working in a grocery store when I go to the grocery store. Again, I'm fucking off on a tangent. See, this is what happens. This is why these fucking videos turn out to be 20 minutes. So there's big things going on in the world, and I thought, like, this is so fucking ridiculous that I'm depressed. But mostly because what I wanted to do was explain my absence, because it's really lovely that some of you have reached out and said, hey man, you haven't done a video. Are you okay? What's going on? So thank you. So it feels unimportant and it feels self-indulgent to go, well, I haven't done a video because I've been in a fucking depression black spiral. And not only that, that's not unusual for me. And the other reason why I've repeatedly told myself, that's not, you can talk about a lot of things, just maybe not talk about that, is that it's bad for the brand. Especially stronger yoga. Who's going to buy into the idea of doing stronger yoga from a guy that some days can't get out of bed, can't turn on the lights, can't even literally look at his reflection in the mirror? So it seems like, I think I'm going to go to a different video or a different yoga teacher. So it seems you can really, I hope, appreciate the struggle for me. Let's talk about me and my feelings. That's what all of this feels like. In fact, let me show you what this feels like. It feels like this video should end with this. That's what that feels like. My point was that as a yoga teacher, especially in my more sophomore years, I've always sort of extolled the virtues of yoga as the cure-all. Yoga fixes everything. Yoga fixes everything. Just practice, practice, practice. Pattabhi Jois, practice, 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 and all is coming. Gandhi said, yoga is India's gift to the world. I believe that with all of my heart. But yoga doesn't fix everything. It helps. It helps a ton. That's why I instantly gravitated to it 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I walked into a class by the in my mind, legendary Micah Springer. And over the years, when I would take her class and sort of observe her teaching style, contrasting it with my own, I would always sort of think to myself, I don't know if that's a good idea that Micah talks so much about her personal pain and talks so much. Maybe that was her gift. I before I fuck this all up, I want to say that I've ultimately come around to that way of thinking of display your humanity and drop this fucking persona, this yoga teacher persona of having it all figured out and being a beacon of light and tranquility that other people will gravitate to like moths to a light. But in my mind, I would always think to myself, like, it takes people out of their experience, the student, the yoga student, and it's not about me, right? And I still believe that. And that's kind of why I want to separate my rants from my yoga classes. And when I realized, well, the whole purpose is to just fucking put that camera right in my face and just talk about what I'm feeling for the 5 people that might give a shit about that. And so I realized, like, what an exercise that would be. That's a good exercise, because exercise makes you stronger, right? So this is an experiment, and my idea is that if I'm really honest, I should probably start with that. So as a yoga teacher, as a person who's supposed to have it all figured out and to be able to explain it to other people, I'm a fucking mess. That's probably a big over-exaggeration. I think what is probably most honest and most accurate to say is that if I didn't practice, I would really be a mess. And I say that as a guy that literally can sit in the dark for hours and will not answer the phone. And what pulls me out of it is my awareness that I gained from years and years of diligently practicing yoga and trying to, in the depth of emotional despair, step out of it a little bit. It's hard to step out of it and go, well, this is what's happening inside your brain. And when you can start to think about it in a more clinical stoic fashion, you can go like, it's not me, and the world isn't black and life isn't hell. It's chemicals in your brain. And so I finally came to the conclusion after all of these years of being vehemently anti-big pharma and prescription medication. It's not like I suddenly went like, I'm now on board and let's take a bunch of pills. But a couple of very loving friends convinced me that yoga alone won't do it. And meditation, breath work, all of the books I've read, all the people that I've learned from, it all helps. It all helps. And it's not like the medication is the answer, but so I take antidepressant medication. It's helped a lot. It helps a lot, but it doesn't solve it. What ultimately solves it is nothing. It doesn't get solved. Or at least it hasn't to this point. And what I continue to do is try to manage it and get out of bed and answer the phone and do what other people do very easily and very naturally. And it's not like it is chronic and persistent. I don't live every day of my life in a dark black hole, but after years of this, I can feel it. I know when it's coming. Like if you're wading in the ocean and you see a big wave coming, it's going to hit you, and you turn around and you brace for it, and it knocks you over. That's what happens. And to continue to use the water metaphor, what happens with me is it's like a cell phone getting dropped in water. It's very functional. It can do a lot of amazing things until you get it wet, and then it short circuits and it doesn't function at all until it, if you dry it out. So I guess I'll try that next time. Rather than yoga, breathwork, meditation, and prescription medication, I'm going to put myself in a giant Ziploc bag of rice. That's where I've been. I was in one of my dark black holes, and I'm trying to crawl out of it and do the next video. So it's not bad. 16 minutes. 16 minutes. I had a version that was like over 30. It was the exact same message. It just goes in weird fucking tangents. I hope you guys are well. I'm well. I'm well enough. And it's just up and down. It's up and down. It's up and down for everybody. That's really what it is that everybody gets down. And everybody can be, given the circumstances, exuberantly happy. My highs are as high as anybody, but my lows can be really low. So if you want to take a yoga class with me, you should know that I don't claim to have the answers to anything, and I have struggles, big emotional struggles, and they don't seem nearly as important as everything that's going on in the world. But I thought I should explain my absence. I thought I should put my money where my mouth is when I said, be radically honest. And, but yeah, that's what it does feel a little bit shameful. It feels a little bit imposter-y. And that's why I've wrestled with not talking about it, because it feels like, well, you're a yoga teacher and you practice yoga every day. You should be okay. And the majority of the time I am. And if you struggle with depression, like the song in Toy Story, you got a friend in me. Just want you to know that. Thanks for watching, everybody.